monthly pay.
In front of the other, you just keep walking down that road. But it gets so lonely, baby, in my heart it grows so cold. And I watch the trees slide by on the side of the street, shaking their cold, cold roots.
My name is Leviticus. I was born in Yamid, Israel. 25 years old, and I'm in Cambridge, England, right now. I spend most of my time alone, but with people who help me. I spend my time going from place to place, surviving, painting, filming, well, sometimes. I don't have anything, I have absolutely nothing. Don't own anything, I don't live anywhere. I have very little money. I feel very empty most of the time. So I just remembered a story. So when the Twin Towers fell down, like 10 in the morning, I was staying in this apartment in Queens. I don't know if you're an alien or something, it's a borough of New York. I was staying in Queens. And so I was sleeping on a floor, and I wasn't about to get up. But anyway, so what happened is my landlord, at the time, walked in with these two guys because he was trying to kick me out. And he's like, these two dudes were like, "Hey man, have you heard that the Twin Towers fell down?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, I didn't hear that because I've been sleeping." And they're like, yeah. And so they were looking at my apartment because, or not my apartment, it was an apartment that I was getting kicked out of there. And so the Twin Towers fell down, I was getting kicked out, but I was still I was laying on the floor the whole time as my landlord and these two dudes were telling me. And friend Miles was there at the time too, and so he was freaking out. He was in a tree playing guitar or something. And so, but the strange thing is what happened is everybody left the apartment and everybody runs over to see if the World Trade Center really fell down. And I fucking went back to sleep. I said, I don't know, man. I feel like a stranger everywhere I go. I am a stranger everywhere I go.
As a mobile artist, as an artist of all kinds, of every situation that you encounter and you bring art and creativity to, it's important to have the proper tools and proper label for what it is you do. And the modern day artist, or Artist 2002, is just a model diagram to give people like direction and understanding what kind of tools they can use to do this sort of thing. I've had a number of different kinds of bags. This is the bag I'm currently using. I had to abandon a few just based on trips and sizes of stuff that I had, and just like convenience. But pretty much when I were around New York City, I've got a handheld tape recorder. You know, I've got stuff that we recorded in the studio, stuff rolling around chilling. Just like one way to document like an event or some ideas or songs. I carry around like some things that we did that I've done. This is a movie that I did with another artist, Leviticus, and we put together this project where the modern day artist was in full form. What happened was we took a trip, and the art that we did, we brought the energy and based upon whatever supplies were available to us. So on this adventure, we had a video camera, we had mini disc player, we had a microphone, and we dropped about $40 on tapes or whatever it was, and we bought some paints, and we went to a Home Depot where we just found these odd shapes of wood, scrap wood in their back room, and we paid them like $15 for these odd shaped broken up pieces of wood that we ended up doing all these paintings on. So we did like 30 paintings. I brought my guitar. We had a guitar with us just for like, music and just like, our personal enjoyment and whatnot. And so we put together a 13-song freestyle CD of just music that we did based upon the situation. We were at a camp here, and so we did 30 paintings, 13 freestyle songs, and then we took 15 hours of footage, and we just took our experience, had these specific pieces of equipment, documented the actual creation of the art, and then we edited it down into a 40-minute video using the songs as a soundtrack, the paintings intermixed, and that sort of stuff. And I think for me, that's kind of like the model role. That was an adventure that we went to Midwestern United States and just kind of like chilled in the middle of nowhere. But all we needed is just certain tools in order to create what we've done. And part about being an artist is also being fucking organized. You got a fucking calendar. You use it. You fill it up with dates. Do your budgeting. I keep all my important files, my Nicorette patches. And any good artist is gonna want to also have with them like a good book. And this is what I've been reading. I've read War and Peace and Hamlet, and now I'm reading the Groucho letters from Groucho Marx, writing to a bunch of different producers and Warner Brothers and stuff like that, tearing them to shreds. Like, he's so persistent and so hardcore with his comedy and his humor and his art. Like, he lives it and lived and died that way, but fucking very major influence. So as an artist, you carry that shit around with you. Always carry tapes of stuff that you're doing, your writings, flyers, information of what kind of shit we're doing. And so as far as like the structure of like an artist 2002 or an artist at all doing art anywhere, it's not so much developing a place or a situation where you're focusing in on one kind of art where you're selling this product of sort in a capitalistic way. It's doing art for like interaction and like dialogue. And I think with certain tools and document, you can actually capture history on tape. It's interesting when you listen to yourself talk, and interesting to hear, what the hell's going on with your own brain and what you're saying and what you're believing, because I think we always got to keep our reality in check. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not easy by any means.
Setup we got here, it looks like he's got a pizza oven, a couple of pizza ovens here, for heat. And he's got this table here with another raised platform right there to level his shoulder and his head on. Some coffee cups.
But you know what I think the key to not burning out is? To not despair. I think despair is what burning out is. What's the key to not despairing? Having faith in God or something. Having faith in that the magic of your belief will carry you through.
Faith in yourself.
Faith in yourself. No, not just faith in yourself, but faith that you're looked out for. That like dreams do come true, kind of.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
With money, yeah?
Sir, welcome to my zoo. As you see here in the first glass cabinet, my friend Heidi, the younger of my giraffe family, lounge here on the finest of couches and coffee tables. You'll see many more in my zoo of earthly delights. Follow me. And here she is, the most beautiful and cutest little lady in this house, Mrs. Sophia. Look at her eyes. The cute little Spooder Spaniel is no more than 4 years old. And here she is, away from her mother, Mrs. Rufenstein. Look at her, a little cutie, a little woofer, and a little lady. Hey, how you doing? Here we have, at the finest bank around my own personal establishment aspect of the zoo, some of the finest plants you will find at Dr. Seussopoulos'. Here they are, lined up. Now, I had the great idea, thinking of my employees here, slaving away at these boring cubicles. What would spice up life? Not some living plants, real, alive, normal, boring, but these strange little cactus, boring pieces of crap. So that's the final score. They were all assembled, standing back to back, everyone looking around the room. Wonder what they're gonna do. This was the big time. The big time, and it had come down to the big buck. Well, in the end, do you think it came down to the roll of a die like some gambler in some back country club? No. Came down to something other than strength. The old Gawain, you know, your Beowulf, ripping Grendel to shreds. No. These were boys of passion and art. And with those things, there's only one power, one key to throw it all through in the end. And there they were, in a covered wagon, on the edge of the cliff, right hanging on the edge, looking over, feeling death right there. What's gonna happen, you know? Uncle Bill fell off the side, falling plummeting to his death, and his mother screamed. That's when it happened. The bolt of lightning called forth by Rohan, Rohirrim of the fine 7 seas that came west at the time of the dawning hour. The light came crashing down, lifting the wagon up. The game was over, and perseverance was what had won. For finally, the thing that had been hidden so long, the little trick that no one had expected, had come through in the end and worked. And the kings returned home, and the peasants to their fields, and the children to their beds. And Lady Elaine looked at Trapper Joe and smiled and said, "You can come with me if you want." What did the trappers say? "Madame, I cannot. The woods are my lover. The pelts my call." And with that he turned and rode into the sunset. Brazil, 3. France, 0. And though the books will tell it otherwise, good did win that day, as it always shall.
But you don't have a driving license, said Jack.
Myself